gets us around to the last division to cover, the NFC West. The Los Angeles Rams won the division last year, going 10-7. So did Seattle, going 10-7. Let's talk about the Rams first. Under Sean McVay, a lot of question marks around Matthew Stafford's health. He's back. Seems like he's going to be good to go for week 1. How do you feel about the Rams?
Just give him the epidural. I think they're a team that relies on his health. It'd be interesting to see how they go. Switching Adams for Cup's really the big change in the team. The rest of the team's basically there from last year. Their defense found some young talent.
Yeah, Jared Verse was really good last year, wasn't he?
Great pick. So I think they can be good. They're one of those fringe sort of playoff teams. They should win the West. They're going to have some competition probably from the 49ers if 49ers can return to form. They themselves have got some big question marks, and Cards are interesting. But I think the Seahawks ended up with the same record of them last year, so we'll have to see how that team plays out as well. So it's an interesting division.
It's the most wide open, I think, there's no clear-cut one.
Yeah, well, and all four could potentially win the division. I think it's the big difference compared to some others. I think everyone's competitive.
The health of Christian McCaffrey going to be a big thing for the 49ers. They went 6-11 last year. If he stays healthy and Brock Purdy shows glimpses of 2 years ago, Brock Purdy could be interesting. But they already having some issues at running back and wide receiver. How do you feel that the 49ers will look?
Yeah, well, the good thing for them is there's no reports on CMC being banged up.
Nope.
I don't think he's played in any preseason, which is
good. Yeah,
which is good. But also, there's the question marks from last year. The same thing happened. Everyone was like, "What the fuck happened?" But they're basically every running back's banged up.
Hence signing Brian Robinson.
Yeah, well, trading for him and getting him in because how do you say Isaac's last name?
Garendo
injured himself today, so he's going to probably. I think he did a shoulder. He's going to miss some time. So they need to back up, and then same for wide receivers. They don't really have anyone, so they traded for Sky Moore from the Chiefs to try and add some young value because they got guys banged up.
So Brandon Ayuk won't start in round 1, and there's question marks around Juwan Jennings, who showed a lot last year. So Ricky Pearsall, their number 1 pick from last year, looking like they're clear cut wideout.
Him and Kittle are probably
going to get a lot of ball.
They're going to get a lot of ball and see how Brock Purdy can do it. Part of that's also McCaffrey come back because he gets a lot of targets, so you have to see how that plays out as well. So if he's good, that team runs kind of through CMC. They'll be better offensively with him in the team. Defense, they've had a bit of turnover from their team. Denver stealing some of that. So
still have Nick Bosa, still have Fred Warner.
Yep. So they should still be good and they should be competitive. And I think they probably return back to being a good team. And let's say the 1 year outlier was the fact that we're super banged up.
Seahawks went 10-7. They do have a new quarterback in Sam Darnold who played lights out at Minnesota last year.
Wide receivers as well. No DK, no Tyler Lockett. They've turned it over.
So Jackson Smith in Jigba going to be the clear-cut number 1. They do have Cooper Kupp, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Torrey Horton.
Well, Horton I think would be the favourite. Was he a draft last? I think he was a draftee last year.
Yeah, last year.
And then missed most of the year with injury, but he's looked really good in preseason. So, and from what I was a bit down on Sam Darnold in our fantasy preview, but from what I've been seeing recently, that maybe Kevin O'Connell fixed him. So maybe Seahawks might be okay. We'll have to see.
Just wasn't at the Jets.
It just wasn't at the Jets. No one's good at the Jets. They've got still some decent name value on the defense. They're a solid overall team.
Yep.
Ken Walker's been a bit banged up here and there, so whether Charbonnet will, I think the rumor is they're 1A, 1B as you will, and we'll have to see how that plays out. But I think they're a solid team. I just don't think they're as good as the Rams, and I think the 49ers on their day could be better.
That gets us to the last team to cover. Well done. You're finally there, if you've been with us the whole time. The 32nd team to talk about. The Arizona Cardinals went 8-9 last year. Head coach Jonathan Gannon and quarterback Kyler Murray. How do you see the Cards going this year?
Well, Kyler Murray, he needs to step up, go back to being a premier quarterback. Less war zone, less COD, and more playing quarterback. I think that's just the step that needs to take. Chemistry with Marvin Harrison Jr. Harrison, needs to get rid of the yips and the drops and really show the perennial talent he is. And that will then carry that team. I think, again, they're another team that's solid on a lot of spots. That's why they're an average 500 sort of team. But they need to kind of, their growth can hopefully maybe put them over the edge.
I think, people need to give Marvin Harrison Jr. a little bit more time. Talking about him like he's a bust, and I suppose where they drafted him, he was underwhelming last year. But
I think the issue was everyone drafting him in fantasy in like the second round.
Yeah.
Thinking he was, and again, as caveat, it was with the issue with rookies.
Yeah.
And you see what Brian Thomas did as a comparison.
Yeah.
I guess. I think that's where the downness comes from, but he will grow. Like, he still scored 8 touchdowns last year, had 100 targets, but
he just needs 5 yards.
Yeah.
You watch him, he'll get 1,000 yards and close to 10 touchdowns this year. That's my bold prediction.
Easy. I think 80 receptions, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. He should be the benchmark, essentially, for what Harrison can do this year. And that just comes with growth with Murray, I think, as well.
So, potentially the most interesting from an odds perspective, where are we? NFC West. Yeah, okay. So, they've actually got the Niners as favourites, $2.40. Then the Rams, $2.90.
I think whoever does Sportsbet likes the 49ers, because you remember last year, they sucked, but they were like Super Bowl favourites to like week 15 or something.
Yeah, even when CMC wasn't playing, we're like, does the 49ers, are they that good? Yeah, so they've got them as a favourite, just ahead of the Rams. The Cards at $4.50, and actually the Seahawks at $6.
Yeah.
But out of all the divisions that we've looked at, potentially, the most open.
Yeah, no clear cut favourite as well, and that'll be a competitive division. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting.
Now the NFC is deep. You look at the NFC, and line through them, probably the Saints, probably the Giants to start off the year. Yeah, the Cowboys got a bit to prove, but I wouldn't be surprised if they snuck in as a wild card. Same thing potentially with the Bears.
They've got a strong North and a strong West, and then South.
It's really only the South that's not brilliant, because
the East is good. East is top heavy, let's say.
Agreed. Anything that we